When Susan Boyle walked onto the Britain's Got Talent stage, no one expected the magic that was about to happen.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by.
With her powerful voice and heartfelt performance, she instantly captured the hearts of audiences everywhere. Who can forget the moment she silenced the critics and transformed from an ordinary woman into a global star? In just a few minutes, she went from a quiet life in Blackburn, Scotland, to earning over $45 million and gaining a loyal fan base. But what happened after the cheers faded? Why did it seem like she disappeared from the spotlight? Behind the bright lights of fame, Susan faced challenges that many didn't see. What obstacles did she face along the way, and how did she find her strength? Join us as we uncover the fascinating story of Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle's early life, a journey from humble beginnings. Susan Boyle was born on April 1, 1961, in the small town of Blackburn, West Lothian, Scotland. As the youngest of 4 children, she grew up in a loving family that was always filled with warmth and music. Her parents, Patrick and Bridget Boyle, worked hard to provide for their kids, Patrick as a miner and Bridget as a homemaker. Their home was a place of laughter, support, and love where music played a big role in daily life. From a very young age, Susan had a deep passion for singing. She loved to perform in church and took part in local events, where her beautiful voice began to catch the attention of others. Her mother was her biggest supporter, always encouraging her to embrace her talent and dream big. However, Susan's early life wasn't without its challenges. She struggled with learning difficulties that were later diagnosed as Asperger syndrome, making her school years particularly tough. At school, Susan faced bullying from some classmates who didn't understand her struggles. They often teased her for being different, which made her feel isolated and alone. While her siblings managed well academically and seemed to thrive, Susan found it hard to fit in with her peers. These experiences were painful, but they also pushed her to find comfort in music. Singing became her escape, a way to express herself and cope with the difficulties she faced. Tragedy struck when Susan was just 18 years old. Her father passed away, which left a deep impact on the family. In the wake of this loss, Susan took on the responsibility of caring for her mother, who became ill shortly after. Balancing the demands of caregiving with her own dreams was not easy for Susan. To help support her family, she took on various jobs, including working as a caretaker, all while nurturing her love for singing. Despite the challenges she faced, her family remained a strong source of support. Her siblings, while pursuing their own paths, were always there for her, cheering her on in her musical pursuits. The values her parents instilled in her, hard work, resilience, and the importance of family, became the foundation that helped her through tough times. Even with all the struggles, Susan's passion for singing never faded. She continued to perform whenever she could, whether at local gatherings or in the comfort of her own home. Those early experiences, filled with both hardship and support, helped shape the determined woman she would eventually become. When she stepped onto the Britain's Got Talent stage in 2009, she not only showcased her incredible talent, but also shared a powerful story of resilience and hope that touched the hearts of millions around the world. Susan Boyle's family story, love, dreams, and challenges. Susan Boyle's journey to fame is deeply rooted in her family story, filled with love, dreams, and struggles. Growing up in the small town of Blackburn, West Lothian, Susan was the youngest of 10 children in the Boyle household. Her father, Patrick, was a World War II veteran who worked as a miner, enduring long hours in tough conditions. Her mother, Bridget, was a typist, doing her best to manage the lively chaos of a large family. Despite their hard work, life was often a challenge, but it was in this bustling home that Susan discovered her love for music. In a house filled with noise and activity, music was a way to escape. Patrick would often sing at a local club called the Bishop's Blaze, and young Susan was enchanted by his performances. Watching her father on stage ignited a spark within her, a dream of one day standing in the spotlight, singing to an audience that hung on her every word. This dream became a guiding light for her, even when times were tough. However, Susan's childhood wasn't just filled with dreams. Her father, haunted by his wartime experiences, sometimes let his frustrations spill over into the family. His short temper created a turbulent home life, and young Susan often felt the weight of that anger. This challenging environment left emotional scars that would take time to heal. While she loved her father, the chaos at home was a source of pain that lingered. Amidst the struggles, Susan found comfort in her mother, Bridget. A nurturing figure, Bridget created a warm atmosphere at home. She was Susan's biggest supporter, always encouraging her to sing and participate in local events. Bridget's belief in Susan's talent helped build her confidence, providing a sense of security in a world that sometimes felt chaotic. Susan also had a close bond with her siblings. Growing up together, they shared moments of joy, laughter, and the challenges of a large family. While they supported each other, Susan sometimes felt out of place, especially during her school years when she faced bullying and academic difficulties. However, her siblings were always there to lift her spirits, cheering her on in her musical pursuits, and reminding her that she was not alone. When Susan was just 18, her world changed dramatically. Her father passed away, leaving a deep void in the family. Shortly after, her mother fell ill, and Susan found herself taking on the role of caregiver. This sudden shift forced her to grow up quickly. Balancing her responsibilities with various jobs to support the family meant putting her own dreams on hold. The weight of these obligations was heavy, but her love for her family kept her strong. During this time, the Boyle family faced significant struggles. With the loss of their father and the challenges of caring for an ill mother, they navigated financial difficulties and emotional turmoil. Susan felt the pressure to ensure her family's well-being while holding on to her passion for music. It was a tough balancing act, but she was determined to support her loved ones. Despite the hardships, the Boyle family remained a source of strength for one another. The values instilled by their parents, hard work, resilience, and the importance of family, helped them through the toughest times. Susan's experiences of loss and responsibility shaped her into a strong and determined woman, ready to chase her dreams. When Susan finally stepped onto the Britain's Got Talent stage in 2009, she not only showcased her incredible voice, but also brought along the rich story of her family's struggles and triumphs. Susan Boyle's story is one of hope, resilience, and the magic of dreams, inspiring millions around the world to believe in themselves. Susan Boyle's inspiring journey from rejection to stardom. Long before she wowed the world on Britain's Got Talent, Susan spent years trying to find her moment in the spotlight. Her journey was not easy, filled with obstacles and heartache, but her passion for singing kept her going. For Susan, singing was everything. She dreamed of sharing her voice with the world, but breaking into the music industry proved to be a tough battle. In her quest for fame, she faced rejection after rejection, auditioning for 12 different shows, including popular programs like The X Factor. Each time, she hoped this would be the chance that changed her life, only to be met with disappointment. Many people believed she didn't fit the typical image of a pop star. After all, she didn't follow fashion trends or chase glamorous looks. She simply wanted to sing. For Susan, it was about the music, not the makeup. This lack of acceptance left Susan feeling discouraged. The more she tried, the more she felt like an outsider in an industry that seemed to favor youth and appearance over talent. Each no chipped away at her confidence, and the sting of disappointment was hard to bear. The bullying she faced during her school years echoed in her mind, making it even harder to shake off feelings of inadequacy. But even in her darkest moments, Susan held on to her dream. Music was her escape, her refuge. She sang whenever she could, whether it was at home, in church, or at small local events. Susan's journey was filled with ups and downs. There were days when she felt hopeful, and others when she wondered if she would ever get a fair chance. Yet her determination to succeed never wavered. She practiced tirelessly, honing her craft, always believing that one day someone would recognize her talent. The support of her family was crucial during this time. They cheered her on and reminded her to keep pursuing her dreams, no matter how many times she faced setbacks. In 2009, everything changed. Susan decided to give it one more shot by auditioning for Britain's Got Talent. This was a pivotal moment for her. With nerves running high, she stepped onto that stage, ready to pour her heart into her performance. When she began to sing I Dreamed a Dream, the audience was instantly captivated. In that moment, the world got to see the incredible talent that had been waiting to shine. As she finished her song, The audience erupted in applause and the judges were visibly moved. This was the moment she had been waiting for, a chance to showcase her gift on a grand stage. Susan's stunning performance not only earned her a place in the competition, but also captured the hearts of millions around the globe. Susan Boyle's breakthrough moment on Britain's Got Talent. In 2009, Susan Boyle stepped onto the stage of Britain's Got Talent, a moment that would change her life forever. The setting was filled with anticipation as the audience buzzed with excitement and curiosity about the next contestant. When Susan walked on the stage, there was an initial wave of skepticism. She was a middle-aged woman, dressed simply and without the polished appearance typically associated with pop stars. As she approached the microphone, whispers rippled through the crowd, and the judges, Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, and Piers Morgan, exchanged doubtful glances. Susan, however, was unfazed by the murmurs. With a bright smile and a sparkle in her eyes, she introduced herself, sharing that she was from Blackburn, Scotland, and that she had always dreamed of singing for a living. The audience listened, some with raised eyebrows, while others were intrigued by her straightforward honesty. Her humble demeanor contrasted sharply with the glamorous images often seen on stage. When the music began, Susan took a deep breath and the atmosphere shifted. She launched into I Dreamed a Dream from the musical Les Miserables. The moment her powerful voice filled the auditorium, the audience was captivated. Her rich, emotive tones resonated deeply, and the doubts that had filled the room just moments before began to fade away. Susan sang with raw emotion, pouring her heart into every note, telling a story of hope and longing that struck a chord with everyone present. As she reached the crescendo of the song, the judges were visibly moved. Amanda Holden was seen with tears in her eyes, unable to hide her emotion. Piers Morgan looked stunned, and Simon Cowell, known for his tough demeanor, had a look of genuine surprise on his face. The audience, once skeptical, was now on their feet, cheering and applauding enthusiastically. The performance was electric. The sincerity in Susan's voice conveyed not just talent, but a lifetime of dreams and struggles. As she finished, the room erupted into a standing ovation. The judges' initial doubt transformed into admiration, and the applause was deafening. Susan stood there, overwhelmed by the reaction, her eyes glistening with tears of joy. After her performance, Simon Cowell, who had a reputation for being harsh, offered words of praise that were heartfelt and sincere. He remarked on how she had silenced the critics and turned the atmosphere completely around. Piers Morgan echoed this sentiment, stating that it was one of the most remarkable performances he had ever seen. Amanda Holden, choked up with emotion, called Susan a star. The impact of Susan's performance extended far beyond that single moment on stage. The video of her audition went viral, capturing the hearts of millions around the world. People were inspired not just by her incredible voice, but by her story of perseverance and the courage to pursue her dreams, despite years of setbacks. Years later, in 2019, Susan returned to the spotlight, this time on America's Got Talent: The Champions. In another unforgettable moment, she performed Wild Horses, showcasing her incredible growth as an artist. The audience erupted with cheers, and she received the coveted golden buzzer from Judge Heidi Klum, which propelled her straight to the finals. This moment was a testament to her enduring talent and ability to inspire, reminding everyone that she was still a force to be reckoned with in the music world. Susan Boyle's breakthrough moment on Britain's Got Talent was more than just an audition. It was a life-changing event that launched her into the global spotlight. From that day on, she became a symbol of hope and inspiration, proving that dreams can come true, regardless of age or appearance. Her story continues to resonate with people, reminding us all that talent can shine through, even in the most unexpected places. Susan Boyle, a journey of struggles and strength. While many know Susan Boyle for her stunning voice that captivated millions on Britain's Got Talent, few are aware of the health challenges and personal struggles that shaped her journey from a small town in Scotland to international fame. Born in 1961 in Blackburn, Scotland, Susan was the youngest of 10 children. Right from the start, life was anything but easy. Shortly after her birth, she faced a serious health issue when she was deprived of oxygen. This led to a learning disability that made school tough. As a child, she often felt different and faced bullying, which left her feeling isolated. Although singing brought her joy and comfort, the emotional toll of those early experiences lingered, making it difficult for her to feel truly confident. In 2009, when Susan auditioned for Britain's Got Talent, her incredible performance of I Dreamed a Dream took the world by storm, but with newfound fame came overwhelming pressure. Suddenly, her life was under a microscope, with every detail scrutinized by the media. Gone were the days when she could walk down the street without being recognized. The excitement of fame quickly turned into stress as expectations soared. People who once doubted her now expected perfection. Susan felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. Despite her immense talent, she often battled feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Comparisons to other artists were hard to ignore, making it even tougher to find her footing in this new reality. In 2011, just 2 years after her stunning debut, the pressure became too much. During a trip to the United States, Susan had a public breakdown, leading to a hospital stay. This moment revealed just how intense life in the spotlight could be. Realizing she needed a break, she took time away from the limelight to focus on her mental health. This decision was crucial, giving her the space to reflect and regain her strength. Alongside her mental health struggles, Susan faced physical challenges too. In 2014, she was diagnosed with diabetes, which requires careful management. This added another layer of complexity to her life, as she needed to monitor her diet and lifestyle closely. Despite this challenge, Susan has shown determination and dedication to her health. Additionally, her voice, her greatest asset, has faced its own trials. In 2013, she experienced vocal strain, prompting her to take a break from performing. This period taught her the importance of self-care and listening to her body, reinforcing the idea that even stars need time to recharge. Through all these struggles, Susan Boyle has shown incredible strength. The loss of both her parents also weighed heavily on her heart. Their absence during her biggest moments left her feeling a deep sense of longing. Yet instead of letting these challenges define her, Susan chose to rise above them. Over time, she became an advocate for mental health awareness, sharing her story in hopes of helping others. By being open about her struggles, she has inspired many, reminding everyone that it's okay to seek help and prioritize one's well-being. Susan Boyle, triumphs in music and what lies ahead. After her breathtaking debut on Britain's Got Talent, Susan Boyle stepped into the spotlight with her first album, I Dreamed a Dream, released in November 2009. The album was a phenomenal success, quickly topping charts around the world. It became the best-selling debut album in UK history and sold millions of copies globally. The album featured a mix of classic songs and heartfelt ballads, showcasing Susan's powerful voice and emotional depth. Tracks like the title song and Wild Horses resonated with fans, capturing the essence of her journey and dreams. Following the massive success of her debut, Susan continued to release albums that showcased her incredible talent. In 2010, she released The Gift, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 in the US. This album further solidified her place in the music industry, featuring a blend of holiday classics and original songs. Each album she released brought her unique interpretation to well-loved songs, allowing her to connect deeply with her audience. In the years that followed, Susan released several more albums, including Standing Ovation, The Greatest Songs from the Stage in 2012, and Hope in 2014. Each album continued to perform well, with fans eagerly awaiting her new music. Her heartfelt renditions and emotional storytelling through song earned her numerous accolades, including several Grammy nominations. Susan became a beloved figure in the music world, breaking barriers and inspiring countless others with her story. Looking ahead, the future seems bright for Susan Boyle. Despite the ups and downs she has faced, her passion for music remains as strong as ever. Fans continue to support her, eager for new music and performances. Susan has expressed her desire to keep creating and sharing her music, hinting at future projects that may include new albums or collaborations. Moreover, Susan's advocacy for mental health and her openness about her struggles may lead her to explore new avenues in her career. She has already inspired many by sharing her journey, and it's likely that she will continue to use her platform to raise awareness and help others. As Susan Boyle moves forward, she embodies resilience and hope, proving that no matter the challenges, passion and perseverance can lead to incredible success. With her powerful voice and inspiring story, she will undoubtedly continue to touch hearts and make an impact in the music industry for years to come. Whether through new albums, performances, or her advocacy work, Susan Boyle's journey is far from over, and fans can look forward to what she has in store next. What has been your favorite moment of Susan's career so far? How do you think her story inspires others who face challenges? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more amazing stories. Thanks for watching.